r/ask Reddit. What do you think would be completely obsolete in the next decade? Standalone GPSs. I'm a professional driver, so me. Self-driving cars are going to be following all traffic laws to reduce liability risks though, so there will still be a market for getaway drivers and transporters. Any true semblance of privacy? Hopefully. Alzheimer's. It's such a terrible disease and I keep hearing that we're only a few years from a cure, so hopefully it will be soon. Hopefully we can forget all about it. House phones. Everyone's got a mobile now, what's the point? Look at you with a good phone signal at your house. I work at a factory heavily reliant on a man-force assembly line. More and more parts are becoming automated every year. So, my plant isn't going to necessarily have a need for me since my job is to put together work instructions and train for new stuff. Some dude 2,000 miles away can reprogram the ducking things to do the work and it will take him maybe 1 out of 10 of the time it would take me to prepare and train and show evidence of preparation and training, at least 6 times a month. I work in a low-yield high-mix manufacturing and hear people uninformed about the industry talk about how machines are going to take a lot of jobs. Not saying you're saying that. We likely work in different industries. The thing people don't realize is how expensive machines and people to design and manufacture specialized machines are. If we make 5 of an assembly a year for a customer, there is little incentive in purchasing any specialized assembly tooling or machines to make it. I think in 25 years for sure. But 10 isn't very long and I haven't seen the industry really evolve drastically towards automation in the last 5 years I've been doing it. Any current video game. I can still play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on my N64 no problem. But duck me if I want to play any modern game where the server has been shut down. Hopefully fax machines. For normal consumers, non-LED lights. They are easy to make and cheap. We mainly keep the old ones or of habit, but as taste and lamps change they'll likely die out. I bought LEDs when incandescents burned out and left them in my apartment for the lucky renter who gets it next. At this point the LED price is low enough that inferior alternatives are just silly. Plastic straws. I read the other day that McDonald's are going to use paper straws instead, but I can't help wondering how that'll work with their milkshakes. You already need to suck with the force of 1000 Dyson Hoovers to get anything out the plastic straws. If bamboo straws can ever get a hold over here, they are awesome. As a clock repairman, I can see the selling of mechanical clocks being obsolete. Repairing them will still be around for years until younger generations no longer pay to keep them going and end up throwing them away. Mechanical watches I believe will always be around. I think mechanical clocks will still be around, just mostly considered a piece of decor that gets tossed when it stops working. Hopefully. Cable TV. Duck. Cable. Companies. The companies will still be around. They just won't be cable TV companies anymore. You're going to see more and more companies that integrate content production, distribution, and delivery. Verizon and Comcast are already doing this and other media companies are rapidly trying to do the same thing. We've already seen Disney buy tons of other studios and media brands and begin working on their own streaming service. Don't be surprised when they start looking to acquire a huge telecommunications company. Also, as bad as cable companies are, there's no reason to expect the new mega media companies will be any better, or God forbid, even as good, compared to them. Facebook. It's basically obsolete for most under 18s already, but I can see it still being used by older generations for a while longer. As a 19-year-old I only use it for groups and societies at university. Online anonymity. I agree. Bob. Phones with buttons. I like buttons. Yellow Pages books. Are they not already? Nah, I got one through my door yesterday. Seems to be more for work and businesses than for the public numbers. Writing checks. Edited to explain. I work at a bank. With the popularity of debit credit cards, ACH payments, and online bill pay rising, I can see checks slowly fading out. The older generation is holding tight, but once they are gone, the new generation will stick to electronic banking. Checks are a huge window to get scammed. Most people have literally all of their personal info on the top of their checks. Name, address, phone number, and even driver's license numbers, and all of their banking info on the bottom. Routing number and account number. Why people still continue to use them is beyond me, but I sincerely hope they become obsolete soon. Maybe not in the next decade, but I wouldn't be surprised if football and the NFL are vastly different than they are today. With all the CTE research coming out, I think you'll start seeing more and more parents not allowing their children to play. I was going to say high school football. Number of players is dwindling, and I think insurers will stop covering it without a huge upcharge. Magazines. True and awful. What if the tablet dies and I need to poop? To the shampoo bottle with your bad self. In Canada we have English and French, so that's twice the reading. Bank tellers. I was a teller for over 3 years and saw my machine overlords begin to be installed. Sure, there will be bankers and likely one lead teller always available for the 3 hours a day that banks are open. But enhanced ATMs are replacing tellers daily. I don't think they'll even make it 10 years. Telemarketers. Just kidding. The last person to die on earth will be the telemarketer trying to sell a timeshare to the next to the last person to die. Shopping malls. I love them, but they refuse to innovate. They just have the same Sears store, JCPenney, etc., which are stuck in the past. When done correctly they are very cool though. Tons of stores in one place is a great thing. I think they might, hope they will, morph into a more of a showroom experience. Some people enjoy shopping as an outing, and a lot of us hate buying shoes and clothes online because sizing and knowing how something will look and feel on you is impossible without trying it on. I picture a store with just a few floor copies of each item. No inventory. You touch and see things. Decide what you want. Pay at the cash. And then the item gets shipped to you from a warehouse within a few days. YouTube, if they carry on in the same way. YouTube has been pushing big efforts towards their TV service, but I don't see it gaining much traction. They gotta innovate other ways, and the fact that they pick and choose to cater their brand is not helping their cause to many users who go to view specific content. Traditional casts for broken bones. 3D printing will make lighter, more breathable customized casts. Too late for me. I broke my wrist as a kid and they set it wrong. I have no cartilage left. Hope they come up with something before the whole thing fails. Paper tickets. Television. More and more people are moving to the internet for all their video needs. It's only a matter of time before YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, and other video sites take over the market. For the younger generations, definitely. Regular TV is still watched by older people. Give it 20 years or so. Live television with bulk ad breaks. Pay TV will be replaced by streaming. The ads on streaming will just morph into bulk ad breaks. It's already happening. Some programming languages. People who do stuff like data entry, case processing, basically anything computer based and repetitive. Offices are fast becoming like factories with far more automation taking the strain of this kind of stuff. The technological age is basically doing what the industrial age did when we started putting machinery in factories. You can replace teams of people with machines, robots. The same applies to computer-based work, and it's happening, accelerating at a rapid pace. Pay-per-view. It pains me to say, but I'm going with manual transmissions, as it is they're getting harder and harder to find. The Paul brothers, and ironically, rice gum will be too. Excuse me, irrelevant. Billboard advertisements. Advertising budgets will mostly be thrown into personalized adverts based on data they scrapped off your social media about you. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.